everybody. Thanks for stopping by Killer Off-Road Hobbies, your one-stop shop for RC fun. Let's do this. What's going on, everybody? It's here, and wow. I'm sorry. This thing is crazy huge. Like, dwarf the X-Max huge. Yeah, this is the biggest RC I've ever seen in person. Yeah, it's gigantic. This thing is so mind-blowingly huge. It's just crazy, people. Alrighty, so this is the 1/5 scale Losi DBXL-E 4-wheel drive brushless buggy that you can pick up at A-Main for about $1,000 plus taxes. I did get this shirt from ordering this. Yeah, so I didn't know who's gonna win this or whatever, but they offered the optional free shirt, so I went ahead and got it. So yay! And like I said before, A-Main contacted me, and they you know, they made everything right with me. You know, they didn't give me any deals or anything, but they did tell me that they do appreciate me as a customer, and it was just, you know, that whole thing was a misunderstanding. So forgive and forget. That's the way of life, and we'll just keep going with it. All right, so it's not going to be easy to set this thing aside, so I'm just going to leave it here and go over the kind of boring stuff you get with it. You get their standard transmitter that comes with almost everything you get from Horizon Hobby. It's the DX2E Spectrum, and this thing does have the AVC, so it does have the active vehicle control, which is this dial right here. Turn it up and down. You do have 2 reverse switches for your throttle and steering, and then you have your trim switches and a bind button down here. It also runs on 4 AA's that they do provide for you with this ready to run kit. Now, the other thing you get in the bag is your bag o' tools, which is not a very big bag o' tools. So you get 4 Allen keys right here. You get your wheel wrench, and your wheel wrench does have a large Allen key on the end of it. Not a whole lot. I would have liked to see more tools and maybe, you know, some other stuff come with this thing for the price, but you know, maybe it is just an awesome RC and it's worth every penny. Now, this owner's manual is a book. This thing is huge. I haven't opened this yet, but I guarantee it's got everything about everything in this, and it's probably a catalog as well because it's as thick as one. So that's going to be spot on. Normally Losi is very, very good about everything, you know, with that. This thing is heavy, people. This thing is really heavy. Heavy enough to dwarf the X-Max's heaviness. So, you know, we'll see how it holds up. It has huge components, and we'll pretty much go over that right now. So it does have actual bead-like wheels, and you got your Maxxis Creepy Crawler tires, front and rear, and the compound does feel pretty hard, but this, like I was just saying, this is a very, very heavy vehicle. Now, moving forward, you do have just 2 body clips that clip in right here. You remove those and you lift it up. Alright, so now starting from the rear, this thing has what looks to be probably 10mm plastic shock towers. It's got huge shocks. They would dwarf the X-Max shocks. It does have your typical H-arms with camber links. Your camber is adjustable. Toe in, toe out will not be adjustable. And your Your drive shafts look to be about 8 millimeters, and they are CVDs, front and rear. Continuing with that, you have a 8 millimeter center drive shaft, and you have a huge brushless dynamite system in this thing. The motor is an 800 kV 58 by 115 can size, huge motor. You have the dynamite 160 amp 8S capable ESC with your 2 battery trays and your push button. The servo on this thing is a huge servo. It's the Losi S9007. All the electronics are waterproof on this thing. Moving to the front, you got the same thickness shock tower. It is plastic, but your camber and toe are adjustable in the front as well, and it does have track bars front and rear. It also has this nice working light bar right here, so if you want to, you know, you can go ahead and keep that on, or you can disconnect it with this little thing right here. It's really up to you. It does run a 4 millimeter aluminum plate chassis. Look at that, so nice, so nice. Everything about this thing is absolutely enormous. The hardware, the aluminum pieces, the shocks, the A-arms front and rear are super thick. Let's see if we can get that for you. You know, this thing is just really beefy. Now this thing is said to be able to hit 50 miles an hour, but that's with a optional 14 tooth pinion gear and 84 tooth spur. You have to have those to hit the 50 mile an hour mark with this gigantic buggy here. Also, another note that I should make is this does have mod 1.5 gearing, not just mod 1, mod 1.5. I'm not sure how available that stuff is. I will look it up and let you guys know, but I'm guessing it's probably just standard fifth scale stuff. I don't have a whole lot of experience, well, almost no experience with fifth scale, so this is going to be my actual first physical fifth scale. If you want to call, well, judging by the size of this thing, the X-Max is about a 6 scale. So, yeah, this thing is way bigger than the X-Max, and yeah, so I am not very experienced with 5th scale, but I am pretty experienced with RCs, so I will figure it out. I did order a set of connector adapters so that I can run 6S in this thing, and I do have those 2 4S packs that I bought for this thing. The suspension feels nice, actually. For if it wasn't as huge as it is, I would say it feels pretty stiff, but for how heavy this thing is, I think it's set up well right now. We will definitely test it out and make adjustments, but the shocks are aluminum threaded bodied, so you know, adjusting your spring dampening rates are going to be kind of easy. Adjustability is almost nothing. You have 3 positions on the shock towers and nothing on the A-arms, so it's pretty much just how it is. You know, you can also adjust your ride height a little bit with your shocks by screwing them down and making it a little bit stiffer. But all in all, this thing feels awesome. High hopes for this thing. This thing is, you know, this thing is the raffle truck, so we are going to test it out. We'll do a speed run on 6 and 8S, and then we will take it out on 6S. We will take it out on 8S a couple times. We will clean it up, fix anything that's wrong, and get this thing reviewed and sent off to the lucky winner, hopefully, if this truck turns out to be as good as everybody says it is. Well, I hope that was informative. I know it was kind of short and sweet, but you know, this thing's just kind of a huge brushless 4-wheel drive buggy. We are going to take this probably to that rock place. It's definitely big enough to negotiate those rocks out there. If the Nomad can do it, this thing can do it for sure. So we'll take it out there, have some fun with it. We'll beat it up and just see how this thing acts. All right, go ahead and thumb up this video if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Stay tuned to Killer Off-Road Hobbies. We got a ton more coming at you. Check out the description if you want to get in on any ongoing or upcoming raffles. And you can get a Killer Off-Road Hobbies t-shirt. So that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next video. Yeah, this thing's huge. Peace.